Are you struggling to disable the drag and drop feature in your jQuery Nestable list? You're not alone. Many developers face this challenge, and today we're going to solve it together. I totally get it. You want to create a nested list that users can view but not rearrange. It can be frustrating when you think you've set everything up correctly, but the drag feature just won't go away. Here's the specific question we're addressing. One user asked, "How can I disable the drag feature in my jQuery Nestable list?" They provided their HTML and script, but the drag functionality is still active. Sound familiar? Let's dive into the solution. So what's happening here? The jQuery Nestable plugin allows for drag and drop functionality by default. To disable this feature, we need to adjust the initialization settings in your script. And stick around. I have a bonus tip at the end that will help you customize your Nestable list even further. To disable the drag and drop feature in the jQuery Nestable list, the user should start by modifying the initialization script. Specifically, they need to set the option for dragging to false. Next, the user should ensure that the HTML structure remains intact. They can keep the existing HTML code as it is, since the changes will only affect the JavaScript functionality. After making these changes, the user should test the functionality. They can do this by refreshing the page and checking if the items in the list can still be clicked but not dragged. If the user wants to provide visual feedback when attempting to drag, they can add a CSS class to indicate that dragging is not allowed. This can enhance user experience. Fun fact: did you know that the first drag and drop interfaces were developed in the 1970s? It's amazing how far we've come in web development. Now let's look at the answers provided by other users. An alternative solution to disable drag and drop in a jQuery Nestable list involves using CSS. By applying the pointer events property, you can control whether elements can be interacted with. The user suggests creating two classes: drag disabled, which sets pointer events to none, and drag enabled, which allows interaction. In the HTML, the user includes a checkbox to activate ordering. The list starts with the drag disabled class. When the checkbox is checked, it toggles between drag disabled and drag enabled, allowing users to enable or disable drag and drop functionality. Let's move forward and look at another answer. An alternative solution provided by a user suggests modifying the drag and drop functionality by changing the handle class name. They found that the drag and drop handling is linked to the class ddHandle. By using a different class name, the drag and drop feature can be effectively disabled. Now, let's dive into a different answer from another user. An alternative solution provided by a user suggests setting the max depth option to 0. While this won't completely disable drag and drop, it will prevent the relocation of items within the list. Let's take a look at an answer from another user. An alternative solution to disable drag and drop in your jQuery Nestable list involves using CSS. You can add specific CSS classes to manage pointer events. For example, set pointer events to none for the drag disabled class and to all for the drag enabled class. This way, you can disable dragging while still allowing collapse functionality. Here's that bonus tip I promised. Consider adding custom styles or icons to indicate that items in your list are not draggable. This enhances user experience and clarity. And there you have it. You've successfully disabled the drag and drop feature in your jQuery Nestable list. If you found this video helpful, please subscribe for more tips and tricks.